Chosen one. Pause for a moment. Heaven has been watching you from the very beginning, before your first breath touched the air. The eyes of the Almighty marked you through your laughter and your silence, through every whispered prayer and every battle you faced alone. Nothing about you has escaped his sight. You are not forgotten. You are a divine detail in the vast masterpiece of God's plan. You might have wondered if your quiet obedience mattered. When you forgave those who hurt you, when you gave without being thanked, when you stayed faithful while others drifted away. But heaven noticed. Every small act of goodness became a note in heaven's song. And now that melody is about to rise through your life. There was once a chosen one named Eliora. Her name meant, "The Lord is my light." She worked diligently in silence, serving others, walking humbly. Even when no one applauded, people mocked her softness. They took advantage of her kindness, but she never stopped believing. One night, standing by her window, exhausted from another day of unseen effort, she felt something deep within her spirit whisper, "I have seen you." That moment changed everything. She realized that her hidden life had always been fully visible to God. You are like her. You may feel unseen, yet the heavens are recording every tear and every triumph. Heaven writes your name in places human eyes can't see. Think of your journey as a garden buried in winter. The ground looks still, but under the surface, life is gathering strength. The roots are reaching deeper. The seeds are preparing to break through. Just because you can't see movement doesn't mean heaven is not at work. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 37, verse 6. He will make your righteousness shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. That is your promise. The righteousness that went unnoticed will soon blaze like sunlight. God is not unjust. He remembers every moment you chose integrity over convenience, love over bitterness, faith over fear. You've stood in storms that could have broken others, but you learned to dance with the wind instead. You've prayed when silence was your only answer. You've kept moving when your legs trembled. That is not weakness. It is proof of divine strength living within you. Imagine a lighthouse standing firm on the edge of a violent sea. Waves crash against it, but its light never flickers. That's you. The darkness tried, but it could not drown your purpose. Or think of gold in the furnace. It glows brighter only because of the fire. That's the story heaven has been writing about your endurance. Now, the season of watching shifts into a season of lifting. The one who saw your private pain is preparing to reveal your public purpose. God is about to showcase the strength he built in your secret places. Chosen one. Heaven is proud of you, proud of your quiet battles, proud of the forgiveness that cost you, proud of the love you kept giving, even when your heart was tired. You've proven trustworthy with little. Now you will be entrusted with much. And when that promotion comes, remember this, it's not about pride. It's about purpose. Your elevation is meant to illuminate God's faithfulness. Your story will remind others that being unseen by man never means being unseen by heaven. Take a deep breath. The night is almost over. The dawn you've prayed for is about to rise, not slowly, but suddenly. When it does, walk boldly into the light. This is your moment to shine. Not for applause, but as living proof that obedience is never wasted. If this word stirs your spirit, leave a comment with the number 333 below. It's your prophetic agreement that heaven sees you. like, share, and subscribe so more chosen ones can be reminded of their worth and calling. Let this message settle deep in your soul. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. Every delay has been sacred preparation, shaping you into someone ready to carry glory with humility. Heaven's timing has never failed. Your story is proof of that. When you rise, rise gently. Let gratitude be your crown. Let peace be your robe. You will not need to force doors open anymore. Favor will recognize your name and swing them wide. Chosen one. Your light is about to announce itself. Heaven smiles over you right now. Type 333 if you receive it. And let this word echo through your spirit. Chosen one. Your silent battles were not ignored. Every moment you stood alone. Heaven was listening to the sound of your endurance. The world may have seen your calm face, but God saw the storm behind your eyes. When no one came to comfort you, He did not turn away. Every tear became a seed in His garden, and the time of blooming draws near. There was a season when you walked through nights so heavy that even prayer felt hollow. You questioned whether God was still near, whether your faith still mattered. Yet something inside you, small but unbreakable, refused to let go. That flicker was not your strength. It was His hand holding you when you could not hold yourself. Your pain was not pointless. It was a classroom where heaven taught you what strength really means. You learned to smile even when your heart cracked. You learned to love even when love was not returned. You learned to stay when everything in you wanted to run. That was the refining of your spirit, the making of someone rare, someone heaven could trust. There's a story told about a woman named Arya. For years, she prayed for restoration in her family, but every attempt ended in disappointment. People told her to give up. Instead, she started writing letters, one for every prayer she prayed, and hid them inside her Bible. Years passed. Nothing changed on the surface, but the letters multiplied until her Bible could barely close. Then one morning, out of nowhere, she received a message from her estranged brother asking for forgiveness. He had found faith. The first thing he told her was, "I felt like God showed me your prayers." Then, that's what heaven does. It honors persistence, even when the results seem invisible. Arya's story mirrors yours. You may think nothing is shifting, yet, behind the veil, heaven is rearranging hearts, opportunities, and timing. It was spoken long ago through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 31, verse 16. Restrain your voice from weeping and your eyes from tears, for your work will be rewarded, declares the Lord. Hold on to that. Not 1 ounce of your endurance is wasted. The sleepless nights, the lonely mornings, the seasons of silence, they are being gathered into heaven's treasury. God never overlooks faithful pain. He transforms it into future strength. You've walked through valleys no one knew existed. You smiled at people who never saw the exhaustion behind your eyes. Yet all the while, the Creator was recording your perseverance as worship. The world measures success by applause, but heaven measures it by faithfulness when no one claps. Picture a seed buried under heavy soil. For weeks, it seems lifeless, yet underground. A miracle unfolds. Roots form. Life strengthens. And the first tender shoot breaks through when the moment is right. That's you. The darkness that once felt like your prison was actually your womb. The weight of the earth wasn't there to suffocate you. It was there to protect you until your strength was complete. And think of a sculptor with a block of marble. Each strike of the chisel seems violent, unnecessary, but only when the dust clears does the hidden form emerge. That's how heaven shaped you, through strikes, through pressure, through moments that made no sense. Until now, you have faced disappointment that tried to bury your joy. Yet, you kept a soft heart. You have endured rejection, but you never stopped believing in love. You have been misunderstood, but you never surrendered your purpose. That's not weakness, it's divine resilience. Chosen one, your faith under fire has been your loudest prayer. It reached heaven louder than your words ever could. God doesn't need volume to hear you. He listens to the language of endurance. The angels have stood guard over your journey, collecting your sighs as incense before the throne. Now comes the shift. Heaven is turning those tears into testimony. The very places where you bled are where light will now pour out. What once broke you will become the reason others find healing. You will look back and understand. Nothing was wasted. Not the pain. Not the silence. Not the waiting. Every piece was part of a divine mosaic you could not see from the valley. Soon, you'll see it from the mountain, and it will make sense. For now, breathe. Rest in the knowing that you were never invisible to God. You were never forgotten. The hidden years were not years of absence. They were years of formation. And heaven has already written your reward. Chosen one. You passed tests. Others failed. You didn't just survive what broke others. You kept your faith intact when it would have been easier to walk away. The battles you faced were not meant to destroy you, but to reveal what could not be destroyed. Every time you stayed when quitting looked easier, heaven took note. Every time you chose forgiveness over retaliation, mercy applauded. The tests you passed were not written on paper, they were written in fire. And you walked through that fire without losing your light. That is why this moment matters, because what is coming next will not find you unprepared. You see, spiritual promotion does not come through applause, it comes through endurance. The silence you endured was an exam. The betrayal you forgave was an exam. The temptation you resisted was an exam. And through it all, your faith didn't fracture, it deepened. There's a story told among those who walk the quiet road of faith. A young man named Caleb once served faithfully in a place where no one thanked him. He stayed late, helped others, kept his heart pure even when overlooked. One night, after being passed over again for recognition, he sat outside and prayed, "Lord, why does this keep happening?" And in the stillness, he felt a response inside him, not thunder, just truth. Because you are being trained for a throne, not a stage. That moment changed how Caleb saw everything. He realized that heaven's tests are not punishments, but promotions in disguise. His heart softened, and peace filled the space where frustration used to live. Chosen one. The same principle applies to you. Heaven never wastes a test. The trials that made you cry were the very moments that proved your maturity. You've shown heaven that your obedience doesn't depend on applause. You've proven trustworthy under pressure. The Apostle James wrote with promise. Chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. Let those words echo within you. The crown isn't given for starting, it's given for staying. You stayed. You didn't abandon your calling when it hurt. You didn't let bitterness rewrite your heart. And that is why heaven is proud of you. Imagine a tree growing on the edge of a cliff. The winds beat it. The storms tear at its branches. But its roots dig deeper into the rock. That's what endurance does. It anchors you to truth so deeply that nothing can uproot you. Or think of a diamond. It's only coal that stayed under pressure long enough. The same fire that could have crushed you has refined you. You are proof that divine strength lives in fragile places. What others saw as weakness was actually worship. God saw your restraint, your quiet, yes, your refusal to compromise. And He marked you for promotion. You passed not because you were perfect, but because you were faithful. You didn't fake strength, you found it. You didn't demand understanding, you trusted, even when confused. The kingdom calls that victory. Now the atmosphere around you begins to shift. What once resisted you will now recognize you. Heaven has signed your next assignment. The tests are complete, and the results are divine approval. Chosen one. You don't have to announce yourself. Your endurance already has. The crown of life is not merely ahead, it's forming within you, shining in the way you love. Forgive, and keep believing. If this word confirms what your spirit already knows, write in the comments, I remain. End. It's not just a phrase, it's a declaration. You remained when life tried to scatter you. You remained when others left. You remained faithful. And heaven will reward what the world never saw. You see, to remain is not weakness, it is mastery. It is the art of trusting God's timeline, even when yours is trembling. Every time you said, I'll wait, even if it hurts, you were shaping spiritual muscle. Heaven trains its strongest warriors, not in spotlight, but in silence. When you remained, you proved something eternal. Your loyalty was not to comfort, but to calling. You didn't need the world's validation to keep walking. That's what separates the chosen from the crowd. The phrase, I remain, is more than an answer. It's a banner over your life. It declares that storms may rage, but your roots are deeper. That temptations may whisper, but your focus is fixed. So wear those words boldly. Let them echo through your spirit. You remained, and because you did, heaven is preparing to reward you in ways that will silence every doubt. Chosen one. The refining fire made you pure. The season you thought would destroy you was actually shaping you into gold. Heaven does not use comfort to strengthen character. It uses fire. You were placed into the furnace of delay, disappointment, and discipline, not as punishment, but as purification. You didn't understand it then. The heat was unbearable. The pressure made you question your worth. But just like gold inside a crucible, the impurities had to rise to the surface. The pain was never meant to consume you. It was meant to reveal what could not be burned away: your faith, your integrity, your heart. The process of refinement is always misunderstood. People around you may have seen your struggle and assumed you were being punished. They did not see what heaven was doing behind the scenes. The world saw loss, but heaven saw transformation. The world saw tears, but heaven saw cleansing. There is a legend of a craftsman who melted silver over open flames. He was asked, "How do you know when it's ready?" The craftsman smiled and replied, "When I can see my reflection in it." That's exactly what God has done with you. He has allowed the fire until His reflection could be seen in your life. You were being refined, so that when the time of elevation comes, your heart would be able to carry the weight of glory without pride, without fear, without compromise. That is the purpose of pain. It purifies motives, clarifies vision, and strengthens humility. As recorded by the prophet Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9, I will put this third into the fire, and refine them as silver is refined, and test them as gold is tested. They will call upon my name, and I will answer them. I will say, they are my people, and they will say, the Lord is my God. Oh, that's your story. The fire was not to prove God's distance, it was to prove his presence. For only those he loves deeply are refined so carefully. Every trial you faced was heaven's way of saying, you are worth shaping. Think back to those moments of heat when people misjudged you, when resources dried up, when prayers seemed unanswered. In those moments, something sacred was happening beneath the pain. Pride was melting. Impatience was burning away. False dependencies were being exposed. What remained after the flame was your authentic self, the one heaven always saw beneath the layers of fear and survival. The fire didn't change your value. It revealed it. Just as gold doesn't lose worth in the furnace, you didn't lose who you were. You rediscovered it. The refining stripped away the false expectations, the unnecessary noise, the fear of not being enough. What's left is pure strength, born of surrender. Imagine clay spinning on a potter's wheel. It's pressed, reshaped, stretched, sometimes broken to be reformed. But only when it's been through the kiln does it harden into something beautiful and lasting. That's what your spirit endured. The heat didn't destroy the vessel. It solidified its purpose. Or picture a forest after wildfire. At first glance, all seems lost. Ashes, silence, ruin. Yet beneath the soil, seeds, long dormant, begin to awaken. Within months, new green life pushes through the gray. That's you, chosen one. What the enemy thought was devastation has become rebirth. You no longer need to fear the memory of the fire. It did its work. It revealed resilience that could not be learned in comfort. It drew out the toxins of comparison and fear. It forged a heart that can lead others through their own storms without losing tenderness. The fire is your testimony. When people ask how you survived, tell them you didn't just survive, you were refined. Tell them that God didn't remove the flames, He walked you through them. You came out, not smelling of smoke, but shining with purpose, chosen one. You are now ready to carry what once would have crushed you. The same heat that humbled you has crowned you with wisdom. The furnace that once felt like isolation was actually consecration. And as the final embers fade, heaven looks at you and says, "Now I can trust this one with more." You are the reflection of the refiner's fire, steady, radiant, and pure. You carry the glow of one who has walked through holy fire and lived to tell the story. Every scar now glimmers with the light of redemption. Every tear that once fell in secret has become oil for your anointing. The refining is complete. Step forward, unashamed and unafraid. You are proof that purified hearts cannot be broken again. Chosen one. Heaven is releasing recognition. The hidden work you have carried in silence is about to be seen. Not because you demanded it, but because heaven has decided it is time. For so long, you have built faithfully behind closed doors. doing good where no eyes could see, planting kindness in places that gave no immediate return. But heaven never forgets hidden faithfulness. What was concealed in the soil of obscurity is now breaking through to the surface. Recognition, in heaven's language, is not about fame or applause. It is about alignment. When the right doors open, it is not a coincidence. It is confirmation. The people who once ignored your value will now find themselves drawn to your light. Not because you changed who you are, but because God has chosen this moment to showcase His work in you. There is a story told of a man named Jonah, not the prophet who ran from Nineveh, but an ordinary man who ran from discouragement. For years, Jonah volunteered at a small community shelter, helping children read, mending broken chairs, sweeping floors. He was never noticed. Sometimes he wondered if it even mattered. Then one day, a child he had taught years ago returned as an adult, now a teacher, saying, "You were the reason I believed I could learn." Jonah realized that heaven had been keeping records all along. Recognition doesn't always come through crowds. Sometimes it comes through echoes, small voices of gratitude that remind you heaven sees what humans overlook. Wisdom itself speaks through the Proverbs. Chapter 11, verse 25. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Heaven's economy is not based on numbers. It's built on the flow of giving and receiving. When you refresh others, whether through kindness, words, or generosity, God ensures you are refreshed in return. That's why recognition often follows giving hearts. The truth is, your rise is not just about you. It's about the people your story will inspire. The light shining on you is a reflection meant to illuminate others. Just as the moon does not create its own glow, but reflects the sun, you are about to mirror heaven's glory into dark places. And as you step into this new season, remember this: what you share multiplies. When you pour out love, it comes back stronger. When you give hope, hope finds you again. Even your smallest gesture can become someone's answered prayer. That is why, if this message has touched you, I invite you to keep the flow alive. Click like it's like striking flint against stone, so another traveler may see the spark and find their way. Share this message. It's how heaven uses one faithful echo to reach countless valleys of weary hearts still waiting for light. If your heart feels drawn to stay connected to heaven's whisper, subscribe not as a follower, but as a flame keeper, someone who guards the fire so it never fades from this corner of the world. And if gratitude rises in you, let it flow gently. You may donate not as payment, but as worship, like pouring oil into a lamp, so it burns through the night for souls still searching for warmth. Each small act, each spark of generosity keeps the light alive. It says to heaven, I want to be part of this flame. You are not giving to a person, you are fueling a purpose. Chosen one, your recognition is near. Your story is about to be told, not to glorify your struggle, but to reveal God's goodness through it. Stand tall, shine softly. The world is about to see what heaven already knows. You were never overlooked, only prepared for your moment. And as you step into it, remember, when you bless others, heaven blesses you back in ways far beyond numbers. You are stepping into divine reciprocity, where every act of kindness becomes a key that unlocks new doors. You are entering a season where light will finally answer your waiting. The seeds you planted in unseen soil are breaking open beneath divine rain. What once looked like loss is becoming the language of increase. Heaven remembers every silent yes. Do not rush the bloom. Every flower unfolds by timing, not effort. The same hand that hid you is now revealing you. One petal at a time. Let gratitude be your rhythm. Walk slowly. Speak kindly. Love freely. These are the footsteps of one who knows where their help comes from. Chosen one. The lifting has already begun. You don't need to reach for the crown. It's already being placed upon you by unseen hands. Chosen one. God is proud of your integrity. You stayed true when no one was watching. You kept your word when others broke theirs. You held on to honesty even when deceit would have made life easier. That quiet strength, that refusal to bend your principles, has moved heaven deeply. Integrity is not loud. It does not demand attention. It stands quietly when the crowd runs the other way. It's the soft voice that says, "Do what is right," even when no one will thank you. And you, chosen one, have done exactly that. There were moments when compromise called your name, when lies looked easier than truth, when silence seemed safer than standing firm, but you chose light. Even when it cost you comfort, you may have lost friends, opportunities, or even peace for a while, but heaven recorded every choice. A man named Elias once lived a similar story. He worked under leaders who cut corners, who demanded results at any cost. They mocked his honesty, told him he was too rigid, too naive for the real world. Still, Elias refused to cheat. Years later, when corruption was exposed, his name remained clean, and that integrity became his promotion. He learned that the long road of truth always leads higher than the shortcut of deceit. That same truth is unfolding in your life now. You may not have seen reward yet, but integrity's fruit grows slowly and lasts forever. Every time you stayed faithful to your values, you built a foundation. Heaven can now elevate. Heaven's counsel is found in the Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 9. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. That security, that unshakable peace, has covered you even in chaos. Others may wonder why you don't panic like they do. It's because integrity anchors your soul. It's the invisible armor that keeps your heart steady when storms roar. Integrity doesn't make life easier, it makes it meaningful. It's what allows you to sleep at night, knowing your soul is not divided. You may have stumbled, yes, but you never traded truth for convenience. And that's why God is proud of you. Think of gold hidden beneath the ground. It doesn't shine because the world praises it. It shines because of what it's made of. Integrity is like that. It glows quietly in the dark, waiting for the right time to be unearthed. Or picture a lighthouse battered by storms. Waves crash, winds howl, yet the light never goes out. That's what you have been: consistent when others gave up, steady when others wavered. Your light guided more people than you realize. Some who were lost found their way again just because you didn't stop shining. Chosen one. Heaven saw the moments you wanted to give up on goodness. When bitterness whispered, "No one cares, so why should you?" But you kept doing right anyway. You didn't do it for approval. You did it because righteousness is in your DNA. That's what makes you rare. Now, God is turning that unseen obedience into visible favor. Doors will open, not because you begged for them, but because integrity knocked first. People will trust you without knowing why. Opportunities will seek you out, and peace will follow your footsteps. Integrity attracts divine partnership. When your heart and your hands align, heaven works without resistance. You've proven you can be trusted in the shadows, and now heaven can trust you with the spotlight. The crown that's coming is not for perfection, it's for perseverance. You didn't let disappointment make you dishonest. You didn't let loneliness make you disloyal. You didn't let waiting make you wander. That's why the blessing over your life will be steady, not temporary. You may not have realized it, but your integrity has been teaching others too. Someone watched you choose truth and decided to believe again. Someone saw your humility and remembered what goodness looks like. The impact of integrity reaches farther than any sermon. It lives in the quiet consistency of your daily choices. Chosen one. God smiles when he sees that in you. This isn't flattery, it's affirmation. You have chosen the narrow path, and heaven is widening it before you now. If this word feels like confirmation in your spirit, write 555 inches. The comments below. It's not superstition, it's a prophetic symbol, a way of saying, I choose to walk upright. When you type it, you're not signaling to a screen, you're reminding heaven that you're still standing, still faithful, still true. The season ahead will reward honesty in ways you never imagined. The same integrity that made you feel isolated will now make you indispensable. You are stepping into rooms where truth will be your passport and peace your inheritance. Hold that light close. Keep walking straight. Even when the road curves, heaven has its eyes on you, and God, the righteous judge, has already whispered your name with pride. Chosen one. You carry heaven's signature. There is something about you that cannot be copied. Something eternal stamped upon your spirit. The mark you bear is not visible to the natural eye, but it is recognized in the unseen world. Darkness knows your name, not because of fear, but because of the authority you carry. You may have wondered why you never fit in completely, even among good people, why you've always felt a quiet difference, a certain separation you couldn't explain. That is the signature at work. It distinguishes you without effort. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out as living evidence of divine craftsmanship. In the beginning, before form took shape, God spoke over your soul. A sound that still vibrates through eternity said, "This one is mine." That declaration didn't fade with time. It followed you through every season, the childhood dreams, the heartbreaks, the hidden prayers, and it still echoes today. The Apostle Paul affirms in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 10, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." You are not an accident of circumstance. You are a deliberate creation, molded with intent and precision. Your presence in this generation is not random, it is a divine appointment. The mark you carry is proof that heaven has work to complete through you. That's why certain things never worked for you the way they did for others. Some doors stayed closed, not because you were unworthy, but because they weren't worthy of you. Heaven protects its signatures from being printed on counterfeit plans. There was once a woman named Selah who never understood why her life seemed to move slower than her friends. They advanced, achieved, and celebrated while she remained in the shadows, waiting for her moment. But one night, during prayer, she heard a sentence in her heart: "You are not behind, you are being signed." That night, she realized that heaven was still sealing her story, imprinting it with purpose that would outlast the noise of quick success. Chosen one. That same truth applies to you. You are still being signed, still being written into divine history. Every season of waiting has been heaven's pen pressed to paper, writing the next line of your legacy. Your signature is not ink, it's light. Wherever you walk, something shifts. The atmosphere responds to your presence because you carry divine code. Conversations become gentler. Heaviness begins to lift, and hearts open more easily. You might think it's coincidence, but it's not. It's recognition. Heaven recognizes heaven. Imagine a musician tuning an instrument before a concert. Every string must align with a precise tone. That's what God has been doing in your life, tuning your soul to the right frequency so that when you speak, heaven harmonizes with your words. Or think of a wax seal pressed onto parchment. The seal doesn't fight the flame. It yields to the heat so the emblem can take form. You've endured your share of heat, and now the imprint of divinity is visible on you. Every trial was part of the molding, every tear, part of the ink. Because of this mark, your voice carries unusual weight. It's not volume that makes it powerful, it's purity. When you speak truth, it pierces illusion. When you extend kindness, it breaks shame. You have authority not because of position, but because of authenticity. The signature also draws responsibility. It reminds you that you do not move alone. Every step you take carries representation. You are an ambassador of light, a vessel through which heaven communicates hope. Even in moments of quiet, your presence preaches. And yet, carrying heaven's mark doesn't mean you won't face opposition. It means you will face it differently. The battles may still come, but they cannot defeat you. They can only reveal what's written on your spirit. Opposition becomes confirmation that your signature is genuine. When people misunderstand you, remember, it's not rejection, it's recognition. Some can sense the difference even if they can't name it. Don't dim yourself to make others comfortable. The light within you was meant to expose shadows, not to negotiate with them. Chosen one. You have heaven's signature because you were created to sign heaven's name upon the earth. Every act of love, every word of truth, every gesture of compassion is another stroke of that divine handwriting. Stand firm in your uniqueness. You are not trying to earn worth, you already embody it. You are the letter written by God, carried through time to deliver light exactly where it's needed most. So, walk with quiet confidence. Let the world read your life and see the author behind it. You carry heaven's signature, unchangeable, unmistakable, eternal, chosen one. The lifting has already begun. You may not see it yet, but the ground beneath you has started to shift. The winds have changed direction. Invisible currents are carrying you toward places your prayers have already visited. Heaven moves subtly at first, like dawn breaking under the horizon. Slow but unstoppable. You have been in a long season of labor, where progress felt like stillness. You wondered if anything was happening at all. Yet beneath the quiet, God was aligning everything, people, timing, and opportunity to converge perfectly. What you called delay was actually choreography. The lifting of God rarely begins with noise. It begins in the unseen, like a seed cracking open in darkness before pushing through the soil. Your breakthrough has been growing where no one could witness it. And now, it is surfacing. Heaven is not preparing to lift you. Heaven is already lifting you. Every conversation that suddenly favors you, every unexpected connection, every gentle sense of peace replacing worry, these are the signs. The shift is no longer prophecy, it is manifestation. Heaven once spoke through Moses in Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 13. The Lord will make you the head, not the tail. If you pay attention to the commands of the Lord your God and carefully follow them, you will always be at the top, never at the bottom. And that word is not distant, it is alive inside you right now. You have been faithful in the small things, and the time has come for increase. The lifting isn't just positional, it's internal. God is raising your spirit, renewing your mind, expanding your perspective. He is teaching you to think like one who reigns, not one who merely survives. There is a story of a young woman named Mariah. She spent years working quietly in a place where she was constantly overlooked. One day, she arrived at work to discover that her supervisor had resigned unexpectedly. Management asked her to fill the role temporarily until they found someone more qualified. But as weeks turned into months, no replacement came. Her gentle leadership changed the atmosphere. Productivity rose. Conflict fell. And eventually, they made it official. She was promoted permanently. What was temporary became destiny. The lifting began before she recognized it. What seemed accidental was orchestration. The same is happening for you. Heaven is positioning you in ways that will only make sense in hindsight. You might still feel like nothing is moving, but look closely. Your peace is different. Your discernment is sharper. Even your solitude feels purposeful. These are the subtle symptoms of elevation. God doesn't announce every promotion with trumpets. Sometimes, He whispers it into the wind and lets life carry you upward. Think of an eagle. It doesn't strain to rise. It waits for the right wind. When that current comes, it spreads its wings and lets the air do the lifting. That's you now. The effort shifts from striving to surrender. Your job is to stay ready. Stay obedient, and allow the Spirit to carry you. Or imagine a tide pulling back before a great wave. The retreat looks like loss, but it's only gathering power. The season that felt like retreat was actually preparation for the surge that's coming next. Heaven doesn't forget momentum, it multiplies it. The lifting has already begun in quiet ways. It can be seen in the peace that has replaced your old anxiety. It is present in the strength that greets you every morning when you didn't think you had any left. It's felt in that subtle but certain knowing that something greater is drawing near. You don't need to chase recognition or force progress. When God lifts you, no one can push you down. When He opens the door, no one can close it. The same hand that shielded you in the shadows is now ushering you into visibility. But remember this, elevation is not about superiority, it's about stewardship. You're being lifted so you can lift others. God promotes not to inflate, but to distribute His goodness more widely. Your influence will not shout, it will heal. People will be drawn not to your success, but to the peace that surrounds it. Chosen one. Step lightly into this new altitude. Breathe differently. Speak carefully. Move with the calm of one who knows they are carried. You are not climbing by human ladders. You are being raised by divine hands. The lifting has begun, and nothing can reverse it. Keep your heart humble and your eyes open. The view is changing because your position is changing. You will soon look around and realize you are not where you used to be. Chosen one. Angels are working behind the scenes. You are not walking alone. Even when the path feels deserted, heaven's armies are nearer than your fears, arranging details, softening hearts, and guiding steps that you cannot yet see. What looks like coincidence is divine coordination. You have felt delayed, but angels do not rush. They move in rhythms of perfect timing, orchestrating what you would never have the strength to carry on your own. Every unanswered prayer has been a meeting in progress in heaven's courts. Every silent night has been full of angelic conversation about your future. Sometimes you sense it, a sudden peace, an inexplicable calm after days of storm. That's not luck, that's presence. When the weight suddenly lifts, it's because invisible hands have been rearranging the burden. The prophet Daniel once prayed for 21 days, fasting and crying for an answer. When the angel finally appeared, he said, "From the first day you set your heart to understand, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words." Heaven had heard immediately, but the messenger had been delayed by resistance. That same unseen warfare happens around your prayers too. Yet victory is always on the way. Scripture bears witness in Hebrews chapter 1, verse 14. Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? That means heaven's messengers are not abstract, they are active. While you work, they prepare. While you sleep, they guard. You may not see wings, but you see results, the near misses, the unexpected kindness, the protection you didn't realize you needed until later. There's a story of a man named Ezra who often drove a long, dangerous mountain road for work. One evening, a storm hit. Visibility vanished, and his car skidded near the edge of the cliff. But something unseen stopped the fall just inches from the drop. When rescue came, they found his tire marks ending right at the brink. As if an invisible wall had caught him, Ezra wept. Not because of fear, but because deep down, he knew he was not alone. That same unseen covering is around you right now. Angels walk ahead of you into rooms you haven't entered yet. They stand beside you in moments of decision, whispering courage when your thoughts begin to waver. They have shielded you from accidents you never knew almost happened. Heaven has assigned you guardians, and they do not rest. Think of your life as a stage play written by God Himself. You see only the scene you're in, but behind the curtain, a whole crew moves quietly, changing backdrops, preparing props, setting lights. The story unfolds smoothly, not because of your control, but because of divine coordination. Or picture a great orchestra warming up. You hear random sounds, disconnected, chaotic. But when the conductor raises his hand, everything blends into harmony. The angels are heaven's orchestra, tuning life's instruments for your next movement. What feels like disorder is only preparation for perfect sound. Chosen one. You do not need to see wings to believe in their presence. The evidence of their work surrounds you. Open doors, gentle delays, sudden clarity. They are heaven's messengers, not to replace God's voice, but to reinforce it. And when you face resistance, remember this: angels do not retreat, they regroup. They do not panic when darkness rises, they push back with light. Every time you pray, your words become their assignment. Every time you worship, their strength multiplies. You are not outnumbered. You are outguarded by grace. What feels heavy on your shoulders is already being lifted by invisible hands. Trust the process even when it's hidden. Heaven's logistics never fail. And if your heart senses this truth, if something inside you whispers that this message is for you, write in the comments, "They move." Oh, say it as a declaration, not of mystery, but of faith, that heaven is moving where your eyes cannot see. That help is already on the way, and that the divine team assigned to your name is still working tirelessly. Rest easy tonight. The battle is being handled. Angels are still at work. When you write, "They move," you are not just typing words, you are aligning your faith with heaven's motion. It's your way of saying, "I believe that even when I can't see progress, God's messengers are still moving on my behalf." That phrase becomes an act of trust, a bridge between your faith and heaven's activity. Every letter you type becomes a whisper into the unseen. "They move" is your declaration that you refuse to fear silence, because silence is often the sound of angels at work. Chosen one, this is the season of exposure. Heaven is lifting the veil from your life, revealing what was hidden, preparing to show the world the light you have been cultivating in private. What once looked like obscurity is turning into testimony. You have spent years building quietly, serving faithfully, praying secretly, and now, heaven is ready to bring you into the open. Exposure does not mean exploitation, it means illumination. God is not showing you to the world so they can admire you. He is revealing His reflection through you. The light that once flickered behind closed doors will now glow before nations. The small flame you guarded through long nights of testing has become a torch that heaven intends to lift high. It's natural to feel nervous when the light finds you. You may worry, "Am I ready?" But the truth is, heaven never exposes before it equips. Every delay was training. Every disappointment was shaping. Every hidden season was protection until you were strong enough to stand without wavering. There is a story of a painter who spent decades perfecting one masterpiece. Every day, he added tiny strokes no one could see. When he finally unveiled the painting, people were speechless. They asked how he created such depth and beauty. The painter smiled and said, "You can't see the years inside the colors, but they're all there." That's what God has been doing with you. The years of silence are woven into the colors of your calling. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." Your elevation is not pride, it's purpose. When God places you on the hill, it's not so people will see you, but so they will see through you. The hill is not about height, it's about visibility. And visibility is a responsibility to reflect truth, to love loudly, to shine kindly. Chosen one, you are entering a season where your name will be mentioned in rooms you've never stepped into. Opportunities will rise from places you thought forgotten. But as heaven exposes your light, remember the purpose of light: to give warmth, not to blind. Stay gentle, even as you grow bright. If this message has stirred something in your spirit, take a quiet moment. click like it's not a formality. It's like lighting another candle beside yours, helping the glow spread further. Share this word if it resonates with you. Sharing is not a promotion, it's participation. It's how the river of encouragement flows from heart to heart. You never know whose midnight will be brightened by the reflection of your obedience. If you wish to stay connected to these divine whispers that lift and restore, subscribe not as a follower chasing updates, but as a traveler joining the same path of light. Every subscription becomes another lantern on the road, reminding others they are not alone in their journey. And if gratitude rises quietly within you, let it flow naturally. You can donate if your heart feels led, not as payment, but as offering. Think of it as placing a log onto the communal fire, so its warmth continues through the night. Each contribution becomes a spark that keeps these words alive for those who need them most. It's a gift that says, let the fire burn for others. 2. When you support light, you are joining heaven's rhythm of generosity. You are saying, I believe in this message enough to make room for it to reach another soul. There is beauty in giving without pressure, in sowing without expectation, in knowing that light given is light returned. Imagine a ripple spreading across still water. The first drop is small, but the circles widen endlessly. That's how your acts of kindness work. Each one travels farther than you can see. When you like, share, subscribe, or give, you're casting your drop into heaven's pond, trusting that the waves will reach shores you may never visit. Chosen one. Exposure is not the end of the story. It's the continuation of purpose. You're being revealed not to impress, but to impact. The same God who called you in secret is now confirming you in sight. Do not shrink back when recognition arrives. Stand steady, stay humble, and let your light speak the truth of who sent you. Your rise will not be noisy. It will be graceful, like dawn climbing the horizon, like fragrance spreading quietly through the air. And as heaven's eyes turn the world toward you, remember this simple truth: you shine best when you shine for love. So breathe deeply, lift your head, and let the light do what it was always meant to do: reveal beauty, restore hope, and remind the world that God's glory still walks in human form. Chosen one, you were never forgotten. Even in the seasons when heaven seemed silent, the divine ledger was still recording every act of faith, every fiat surrender, every prayer that ended in tears. Silence is not absence, it is the sound of preparation. God has been at work in dimensions you could not see, arranging outcomes beyond your understanding. There were nights when you thought your prayers had vanished into emptiness. You watched others receive breakthroughs while yours seemed delayed, and your heart whispered, "Did you forget me, Lord?" But even when you could not feel His hand, His eyes were upon you. You were never abandoned. You were being written into a longer story. The voice of God thundered once through the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 16. "See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are ever before me." And that verse is not poetry, it is covenant. It means your name is not written in pencil, easily erased by circumstance. It is carved into eternity's hands, etched into the very essence of divine memory. No darkness, no distance, no disappointment can undo that engraving. There was a young woman named Adina who used to walk along the same riverbank every evening to pray. She would ask for signs, for answers, for direction, but nothing ever changed. One day, frustrated, she threw a small stone into the river and said, "Maybe my prayers are like this, just sinking." Unheard. Months passed. Then one afternoon, she returned to the river, weary from another hard season. As she stood there, a smooth, glimmering pebble rolled against her foot, shaped by time, polished by current. She realized, with tears streaming down her face, that the stone she once thought lost had been carried, transformed, and returned. So had her prayers. God has been carrying your petitions the same way through the currents of time, polishing them with patience, returning them as miracles when the season is right. Every unanswered prayer is not forgotten, it is unfolding. Sometimes heaven's love hides behind stillness. Like a composer pausing before the final note, God waits for the moment when every instrument aligns. The pause does not cancel the melody, it completes it. Your life has been that pause, preparing for harmony. Think of a seed buried beneath soil. Days pass, weeks even, and nothing seems to change. Yet beneath the surface, roots are growing deep, unseen. Then one morning, the earth shifts, and green life breaks through. The silence of that soil was never forgetfulness, it was growth. You have been underground for a while, buried in responsibilities, misunderstood by people who didn't see your value, overlooked in spaces you gave your all to. But heaven has not forgotten where you were planted. The gardener of your soul knows exactly when to bring you to the surface. There were moments you prayed for rescue, and instead, God gave you endurance. You prayed for open doors, and He gave you wisdom to wait. You prayed for recognition, and He gave you peace instead of panic. You thought He was withholding, but He was preparing. What looked like delay was divine design. Chosen one, your waiting season has not been wasted. It has been filled with unseen construction strength, patience, depth, discernment. Heaven has been quietly fortifying you for the weight of what's coming. If God had answered too early, you might have received the blessing before you could carry it. But now, your spirit has grown roots strong enough to bear fruit without breaking. Your name has been spoken in rooms you've never entered, in prayers you didn't know others were praying. Angels have carried your story into divine remembrance. And even when you forgot to pray for yourself, heaven did not stop interceding. You were never forgotten. Every scar, every sigh, every step you took in faith is still echoing before God's throne. He never loses track of His own. The delays are not denials. They are pauses filled with purpose. And soon, when your moment arrives, it will come so gently that you'll realize God never left. He was walking beside you all along. The silence will make sense. The waiting will feel holy. The forgotten seasons will turn into evidence of divine faithfulness. Chosen one, rest tonight in this truth. Heaven remembers what you thought was lost. You have never been invisible to the one who made you visible. Even now, heaven's eyes are still upon you, steady, unwavering, kind. Every breath you take is proof that you remain part of the plan. The page of your story has not closed. It is simply turning to the chapter where promises begin to bloom. Chosen one, you have been crowned through suffering. The pain you endured was not without purpose. It became the anointing oil that heaven poured over your life. Every trial pressed you. Every tear refined you. Every heartbreak molded you into royalty. You didn't just survive suffering, you were crowned by it. There are people who wear crowns of success, but yours is different. Yours was shaped in fire and sealed in faith. You wear an invisible glory that the world cannot define, for it was placed upon you by the very hand of God. The weight you once thought was crushing you was actually shaping the crown that now rests upon your spirit. As written in the letter of the Apostle Paul to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 18, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. That verse is not distant theology, it is your biography. Every moment of anguish was an investment in revelation. Heaven was not punishing you, heaven was preparing you. There was once a man named Josiah who lived through unimaginable loss. His business collapsed. His health failed. His family scattered. For years he begged God to explain, but heaven was silent. One morning, sitting by his window, he whispered, I have nothing left. And in that stillness, he sensed God's answer. Now I can trust you with everything. That realization changed him. His pain became his purpose. His wounds became his wisdom. Within time, everything he lost returned in new form, better, deeper, lasting. Your story may not look the same, but the principle is eternal. Suffering has not diminished you, it has defined you. What others saw as weakness was God's way of forging strength that cannot be faked. You now carry a peace that doesn't need proof, a faith that doesn't depend on sight, and a compassion that can heal others because you've bled yourself. Think of a pearl forming in the deep. It begins as irritation, a grain of sand lodged in the heart of an oyster. Over time, layers of response, resilience, patience, protection build around the pain until the irritation becomes beauty. That is what has happened to you. The things that wounded you most deeply became the very essence of your worth. Or picture a crown made not of gold, but of scars. Each scar represents a battle survived, a night overcome, a prayer whispered when hope was fading. When heaven looks at you, it doesn't see damage, it sees design. Every scar glows with meaning, proof that you have walked through fire and refused to burn. Chosen one. It's natural to ask why. Why the suffering? Why the delay? Why the silence? But the better question is, what for? What is this pain producing in me? And the answer, whispered gently, is glory. The suffering was never random. It was birthing purpose. You now carry authority in the realm of endurance. Your words hold healing power because they come from experience, not theory. You speak with weight because your voice has traveled through storms and returned carrying truth. Heaven crowns only those who have first bowed low, and you, chosen one, have bowed in surrender. This is why you will rise differently. You won't rise to prove yourself, you'll rise to serve. You won't shine to attract attention, you'll shine to reflect redemption. Your crown is not a symbol of conquest, but of compassion. And when people ask, how did you stay strong through it all? You'll simply smile, because you'll know it wasn't your strength. It was grace holding you upright when everything else failed. If this word finds its home in your heart, write 888 inches, the comments. It is a number of new beginnings, a prophetic declaration that your suffering season has ended. and your crowned season has begun. When you type it, let it be your quiet amen, your agreement that the pain has completed its work and glory is now unfolding. That simple act is more than a comment. It's an acknowledgement to heaven that you understand the purpose behind the process. 888 is your signature of resurrection, the sign that what was broken is now being rebuilt with brilliance. So, lift your head, not in pride, but in gratitude. The ashes you wore have become the oil of joy. The heaviness has turned into praise. You are walking proof that suffering is not the end, it's the anointing before elevation. Chosen one, keep your crown steady and your heart soft. You have emerged from the fire carrying light that cannot be extinguished. What you've lost will never outweigh what you've gained in grace. And when the world sees your glow, they won't see pain, they'll see purpose wrapped in peace. You were crowned through suffering, and now you reign in wisdom. Chosen one, heavenly acceleration begins. The seasons that once felt stagnant are suddenly stirring with movement. The gears of destiny that seemed locked are now turning again. Quietly, but powerfully. What took years before will happen in months. What seemed impossible will soon feel inevitable. Heaven is not just moving you forward, it is redeeming the time you thought was lost. Acceleration in the kingdom does not come through striving, but through alignment. When your heart and heaven move in the same rhythm, delay dissolves. God doesn't need time, He uses time. Every slow chapter has been rewritten with divine purpose. And now, everything delayed is converging into one swift moment of grace. The prophet Haggai recorded it beautifully. Chapter 2, verse 9. The glory of this present house will be greater than the glory of the former house, declares the Lord Almighty. And in this place I will grant peace. No, that is what is happening to you now. The glory ahead will outshine what was behind. The years that broke you will become the foundation for the years that bless you. There was once a man named Levi who spent a decade building a dream that never came to pass. He prayed, planned, and waited. Yet every door stayed closed. One day, while walking home from another disappointment, he stopped by a small cafe. A stranger began a conversation with him, sharing a story that mirrored his own struggles. That brief encounter became a divine connection. The person he met would later become the partner who helped him launch the vision that had waited so long to be born. In a single week, everything changed. What had taken 10 years of frustration shifted into one moment of acceleration. That is how heaven moves quietly. Suddenly, perfectly timed. The same God who delayed you was never denying you. He was building strength beneath your surface, anchoring your purpose in patience so that when acceleration came, you would not crumble under its speed. Acceleration is not chaos. It's not hurried or frantic. It's grace multiplied. It's the divine momentum that carries you further than your strength could ever push. It is the wind of God filling your sails after seasons of rowing alone. Think of a seed buried long in the soil. For months, nothing happens. Then, when the time comes, it breaks through the earth and grows faster than anyone expected. Growth always looks slow until the surface breaks, and then it looks miraculous. That's you right now. What heaven has been forming in darkness is now ready for light. Or imagine a train waiting at the station. It sits still, gathering passengers, checking systems, waiting for the right signal. Then suddenly, It moves not gradually, but with power. Once motion begins, it doesn't stop. You are that train. The preparation was not wasted. It was necessary. Now the signal has turned green. Chosen one. You may still feel behind, but time itself is about to bow to your assignment. Heaven redeems lost moments by multiplying their impact. Where you thought you wasted years, you will soon see accelerated fruit. People will wonder how it happened so fast, but you'll know it was divine compression. God folded the waiting into the blessing. This acceleration is not meant to overwhelm you, but to fulfill you. You won't need to chase it. You'll simply align with it. The opportunities that appear will fit like puzzle pieces, confirming what heaven already decided. Acceleration also brings responsibility. The same grace that speeds your steps requires wisdom to pace your heart. Move with the Spirit, not ahead of Him. When doors open rapidly, humility must deepen equally. Stay anchored in gratitude so that speed never turns into pride. This season will be marked by divine coincidences, people calling you unexpectedly, messages finding you at the right time, sudden inspiration flowing where there was once silence. Heaven is converging everything. Your story will begin to make sense. Threads weaving together into a masterpiece you didn't know was forming. You may even feel a mix of excitement and fear. That's normal. Acceleration is both beautiful and humbling. It reminds you that you are not in control, and yet you are completely safe in God's hands. Chosen one. The days ahead will move quickly, but do not rush through them. Every moment is sacred. Every opportunity, a divine invitation. The pace of heaven is peace, not pressure. You are stepping into redeemed time, where the years that seemed wasted now pour back into your life as wisdom, provision, and influence. The divine clock has struck your hour. The long night is ending, and dawn does not creep, it rises. The acceleration has begun, and you are right on time. Chosen one. This is the mantle of leadership. Heaven has not simply called you to survive, it has called you to lead. The path you've walked, the pain you've endured, the wisdom you've gained, all of it was preparation for this responsibility. Leadership in the kingdom is not about titles or recognition. It's about carrying light through the darkness without letting it go out. You may not have asked for this role. In fact, most true leaders don't. They are forged, not chosen by applause. They rise because love compels them, not ambition. And you, though weary at times, have continued to rise. Heaven has seen how you care, how you listen, how you remain steady when others panic. That is why you are being entrusted with influence. The word recorded in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9, speaks to you now. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. End of teen. That verse is not merely instruction, it is empowerment. Strength is not demanded of you, it is supplied to you. The courage you need has already been placed within. Heaven never appoints without equipping. There is a story of a young shepherd named Alon. He never imagined leading anyone. He was content guiding sheep across quiet hills. One night, a violent storm struck. Lightning split the sky, and the flock scattered into the darkness. Instead of running for shelter, Alon went after them one by one, calling softly until every sheep returned. When dawn came, villagers saw what he had done and called him a leader. But he knew better. He hadn't led, he had loved. That love was what gave him authority. Chosen one. That is the essence of divine leadership. You lead not by control, but by compassion. True leaders in God's kingdom are not loud, they are luminous. They don't demand loyalty, they inspire it through kindness and consistency. You have walked this path long enough to understand that leadership is not about standing above others, but about kneeling first. The mantle resting on you carries weight. It will require both gentleness and firmness, both empathy and discernment. You will guide others through valleys you once wept through, and because you've been there, your words will heal where others only instruct. Think of Moses leading Israel through the wilderness. He was never chosen for eloquence but for endurance. Heaven saw his heart, a shepherd's heart, patient and strong. You, too, carry that heart. The world is hungry for such leadership, steady, compassionate, humble. Or picture a lighthouse standing against the sea. It doesn't chase the lost ships. It simply stands where it was built, shining steadily through fog and storm. That's the power of presence. You don't have to push your influence. You simply live it. Those searching for direction will find you by your light. Leadership will ask much of you. It will ask you to forgive when wronged, to see potential where others see failure, to speak truth when silence feels safer. But remember this, your authority is not born from perfection, it is born from perseverance. You lead best not by showing your strength, but by showing how grace carried you through weakness. This calling is not meant to burden you, but to bless others through you. You were refined for this very reason, to lead with empathy, to speak with clarity, to act with integrity. Heaven trusts you now because you have proven faithful when no one was watching. And leadership, in its truest form, is service. It's washing feet while carrying vision. It's choosing love over ego, patience over pride. When you walk in that spirit, heaven walks with you. There will be days when you feel unqualified, but that is the sign of the genuine leader, the one who leans on grace, not pride. God doesn't call the prepared, He prepares the called. Every struggle behind you has been equipping you for the voices ahead that will depend on your example. Chosen one, the mantle of leadership sits upon your shoulders. Now, do not fear its weight. It was tailored for you. Your scars have become your credentials, your humility, your authority. Stand firm, not in your own power, but in the quiet assurance that heaven walks beside you. You lead not as a ruler, but as a reflection, showing others what it looks like to walk with light in human form. And as you do, remember, leadership is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of legacy. Chosen one, glory is returning to your name. The shadows that once clung to your story are lifting, and what was meant to shame you is now becoming your crown. Heaven is restoring what life tried to take. Every misunderstanding, every rejection, every closed door, all of it is being rewritten with honor. You are not the same as when this journey began. You have been refined by truth, anchored by faith. And now glory rests gently upon your shoulders. There were seasons when people whispered your name in mockery, when your worth was questioned, when your silence was mistaken for weakness. But God heard those whispers and turned them into prophecies of reversal. The same lips that once doubted you will soon speak blessings over you. This is not revenge, it's redemption. Heaven restores not to humiliate others, but to vindicate your obedience. In the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 15, it is written, "Look, there on the mountains, the feet of one who brings good news, who proclaims peace. No more will the wicked invade. They are destroyed forever." That promise echoes through your life now. The wicked season is over. The invasion of sorrow has ended. You are walking into peace. And peace has weight. It sits like glory upon those who have been faithful through fire. There's a story about a sculptor named Tamar. For years, she worked on a single statue, carving, smoothing, correcting every line. When it was finally complete, she left it hidden under a cloth. She feared the world would not see what she saw in it. One day, a visiting artist stumbled upon the covered shape and gently lifted the veil. Light poured over the figure, revealing beauty that left everyone silent. Tamar wept, not for pride, but for release. The hidden masterpiece had found its dawn. That's what heaven is doing with you now. The covering is coming off. You were never forgotten, only protected until the right light arrived. The unveiling will not be loud, it will be holy. Glory, when it returns, does not shout, it hums. It wraps around your life quietly. Like sunrise spilling over a calm lake, you will feel it before you see it. An ease in your spirit. A lightness where heaviness once lived. And when that happens, remember, the glory is shared, not stored. Its purpose is to inspire generosity, kindness, hope. You will find yourself drawn to lift others, to pour from your abundance into places that hunger for light. If these words find resonance within you, let your heart respond freely. Click like if this light has touched your spirit. It's not a gesture, but a spark, like adding another flame to the lantern so the path glows brighter for someone behind you. Share this message if it speaks peace to your heart. Sharing is not an act of performance. It's like passing a candle to another soul shivering in the dark, saying softly, "Here, take some of my fire." And if something in you stirs deeply, leave a small comment, a word, an emoji, or even silence in written form. Each comment becomes a trail of light, proof that glory has touched another heart and ripples gently onward like sunlight after rain. If you wish to keep walking with these words, subscribe not as a follower, but as a companion on the same sacred road. Each connection is another step in a pilgrimage of light, where faith and story intertwine. And if gratitude wells within you, let it find its own form. You may donate if you feel led, not as obligation, but as offering. Think of it as laying a single stone on the altar, a stone that becomes part of the path others will walk safely on. Every seed of generosity turns into fuel for this flame that reaches unseen hearts across miles and moments. This, chosen one, is how glory circulates. It moves through gratitude. It lives in giving. It travels through connection. Each act, whether a click, a share, a word, a prayer, is part of heaven's current, flowing outward until the world feels just a little warmer. You are part of that flow. Your story of redemption becomes the vessel through which others will find courage to believe again. You were once the one searching for light. Now you are becoming its reflection. Glory has returned, and it fits you perfectly, not heavy. not blinding, but steady. The years of humiliation have birthed humility, and from humility springs radiance. The glow you carry will not fade because it's not borrowed from success, it's born from surrender. So, walk forward gently, carrying peace like a torch. Let your restored name whisper softly across the earth. God still restores. God still crowns. God still turns ashes into light. Chosen one, you will be a living testimony. The story of your life will not be a quiet one. It will sing. Every chapter you once wanted to erase will become the very proof that redemption is real. You have been walking through pages that felt unfinished, waiting for meaning to appear. But heaven has been writing beauty in invisible ink. When the time is right, that ink will glow, and the world will see what faith can build from brokenness. There was a woman named Mara whose story mirrored despair. She lost everything within a single year: her marriage, her health, her livelihood. For a time, she couldn't even pray. But instead of hardening, she began to write small notes of gratitude each morning, forcing herself to notice one good thing: a neighbor's kindness, the sound of rain, a warm light at dusk. Months later, she looked back at the pile of notes and realized that her miracle had already begun. It had been growing quietly in the habit of hope. That collection became a book that touched countless hearts. What was once her valley became her voice. That is the pattern of heaven turning pain into proclamation. The same fire that once consumed you now fuels your compassion. The scars you carry have become sacred language. When others look at your life, they won't see defeat. They'll see divine craftsmanship. The Apostle Paul wrote in his second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 3, "You show that you are a letter from Christ, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, on tablets of human hearts." You are that letter. Your life is a message penned by the Spirit, addressed to the weary, sealed with perseverance. You were not written to be hidden in a drawer. You were written to be read, to remind others that restoration is possible. Your testimony is not a performance, it is presence. It doesn't require a stage or a spotlight. It lives in the quiet ways you speak. Peace where there was chaos. Offer forgiveness where there was pain. And walk gently through places where bitterness once ruled. People will encounter you and sense peace before they even know why. That's the evidence of a story redeemed. Think of a stained glass window. When viewed in shadow, it looks fragmented and dull. But when light passes through, the broken pieces blaze with color. That's what God has done with your life. The shattered parts didn't disqualify you. They prepared you to refract more light. The pattern only made sense once the sun returned. Or imagine a river after flood season. The landscape looks torn, the banks uneven. Yet when the waters settle, new soil appears, rich and fertile, ready to grow things that could never have taken root before. That's what your suffering did. It carved channels for grace to flow through you to others. You will not need to explain your transformation. Your peace will do it for you. Those who doubted will see the calm in your eyes and understand without words. Your joy will be your sermon, your resilience, your revelation. Heaven will use your ordinary moments as miracles. A conversation, a smile, a simple act of honesty. These will carry weight beyond your awareness. The Spirit will move through your kindness, like wind through leaves. Unseen, but unmistakable. Chosen one. The days ahead will unfold like ripples. You may never fully know how far your influence travels, but every step you take in love sends waves into eternity. The testimony you live will outlast your words. Do not rush to tell your story. Let your story tell itself. Testimony is strongest when it breathes. People will approach you at unexpected times, saying, "You don't know me, but your life changed mine." They'll mean it. And when they do, give glory gently. Point upward, not outward. This is the purpose behind every trial, every delay, every tear. Heaven was not only rescuing you, it was preparing a letter for the world to read, a living proof that light can live again after loss. Chosen one. You will walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere without saying a word. Not because you seek power, but because you carry peace. You are a walking miracle, a message in motion. Proof that grace still rewrites stories. Your testimony is not finished yet. Heaven is still adding paragraphs of promise, still weaving threads of wonder. But already, your life speaks loudly enough for those who need hope to keep walking. Let your breath itself be worship. Let your existence declare, God is faithful, for you are, and always will be, His living testimony, chosen one. You are lifted for His glory alone. The elevation you are stepping into is not the reward of ambition, but the fulfillment of divine intention. Every door that opens now, every platform that appears, every opportunity that unfolds, it all exists to point back to the source. God is not just blessing you, He is revealing Himself through you. You have been through the process, through the fire, through the seasons of silence and surrender. Now comes the unveiling, not for fame, not for comfort, but for testimony. Heaven is not simply exalting a person, it is displaying proof that obedience still moves mountains. As the ancient prophet declared in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." This rising is not about superiority, it is about stewardship. God's glory rests upon those who can carry it without claiming it. The light that now surrounds you is borrowed, entrusted, sacred. You are not the source of it, you are the vessel. And the more you pour out, the more it flows. There was once a man named Eliab, a craftsman who spent years carving intricate designs into wood for temple doors. When the new temple was built, his work became part of the grand entrance. Thousands would pass through his art daily, yet few would ever know his name. Still, he smiled each time he visited, whispering, it was never about being seen, it was about being used. That is the spirit of true elevation. To stand in light and still bow in heart. To shine without pride. To lead without control. You are stepping into that posture now, a living reflection of God's humility and power intertwined. Elevation is not the end of a journey, but the beginning of a greater calling. When God lifts you, He positions you where your voice can heal more deeply, where your presence can awaken dormant hope in others. You become a mirror, reflecting His love into places where darkness once claimed ownership. Think of a mountain peak after a long climb. The air is thinner, the world quieter, but the view wider from that place. You don't boast about reaching it, you marvel at what you can now see. Elevation gives perspective. It reveals how far grace has carried you, and how small pride looks from heaven's height. Or picture sunlight passing through clear water. The light doesn't stop at the surface, it travels deep, illuminating everything it touches. That's what your influence will do. It will reach beneath the surface, into unseen hearts, into stories still waiting for dawn. Chosen one, do not fear the attention that comes with this new level. The same God who lifted you will sustain you. Visibility is not vulnerability when humility is your armor. Walk gently through your promotion. Let your words remain kind, your actions intentional, your motives pure. Heaven's glory is heavy. It must be carried with care. You are not rising alone. Every person who prayed for you, every heart that supported you in silence, is rising too. The glory that touches you will ripple outward. This is how heaven expands one obedient life, becoming the spark for 1,000 more. The key now is remembrance. Never forget the wilderness that taught you worship, the nights that taught you to listen, the wounds that taught you compassion. Memory keeps pride from growing roots. Gratitude keeps the glory flowing freely. This new season will test not your faith, but your focus. The blessings will be abundant, but the true measure of success will be how you give them away. Leadership was the preparation. Legacy is the purpose. What you've received is not just for you, it's for those still in the fire, those still searching for their own dawn. Chosen one, your rise will not end in applause. It will echo in transformation. The people who encounter you in this next season will encounter God through you. The stories told about your victory will become invitations for others to believe again. Heaven's glory is safest in hands that tremble with awe. Yours do. And that is why God trusts you now with greater weight, greater reach, greater influence. You have proven that your crown will always bow to the King. So walk forward quietly, confidently, reverently. Let your steps testify that promotion is not a pedestal but a pulpit. Every breath you take from this point forward preaches one truth: to God be the glory, forever and always. The lifting is complete. The story continues. And heaven smiles as its light moves through you. Chosen one. This is where the story rests, but not where it ends. What began as words has become movement. Heaven's whisper, finding you in the quiet and reminding you that you were always seen, always chosen, always becoming. You have walked through fire and silence, through waiting and wonder, and every step has led you here to the threshold of purpose. The same voice that called your name at the beginning now says, "Rise and walk in peace." The world will look different because you will see differently. If this message has touched a sacred place in you, let your heart breathe in gratitude. Click like, not as routine, but as a quiet candle placed on the altar of remembrance, saying, "Yes, I received this light." Share it if it feels right. Not as obligation, but as overflow, like pouring from your cup into another's, letting hope travel farther than your voice. And if a single line here stayed with you, leave a comment, even a word, even a sigh in writing. Every response becomes part of the chorus. Heaven started here. Proof that light still finds its way between souls. If you wish to keep journeying through these divine echoes, subscribe, not as a follower, but as a flame keeper, helping the words continue to find hearts still searching in the dark. And should gratitude turn into motion, let it move gently. Donate, only if your spirit feels the invitation. Picture it not as giving away, but as tending the fire so its warmth continues for others who will come after you. The story may fall silent now, but its glow remains. Carry it, live it, and let the light keep moving through you.